Hey folks, welcome back to the latest attempt to record a cursed episode. Why is the episode cursed, you see? Well, the first time I tried to record it, I had to scrap everything because of this guy.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Hey, Mr. Connery, I think you might be able to help me decipher some tattoos, could you?
I don't think so.
He grunts, barely glancing at it. Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea. Hey, we're investigating a murder. These tattoos were on the victim's body. Silence. He takes the photo. Gray eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. His face is unmoving. Hard as a stone, but beneath it. After a while, he cranes his head side to side and sighs.
The fucking loincloths really did him in.
Loincloths?
Yeah.
He's clenching his teeth. There's silent pressure behind him. Can you tell me what the tattoo means?
What it means.
He points to one tiny star in the web of lines, away from the man's heart, almost on his stomach.
I can tell you what this one means. Only one.
He squints at it. It's so small.
You want to hear what happened here, Trebek?
Yes.
Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush in Natal, 41, monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission.
Whew, that is a bad word to say in that accent. Natal is one of the inhabited islands of the Cevenese archipelago, near the Pale, covered in jungle. It was an anchor point for the Cevenese nationalists in the proxy war held on the islanders' territory.
He spent a month behind enemy lines scouting kipped villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. The men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers.
He licks his lips as if drunk suddenly, with some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off. Don't interrupt him.
Oh boy, he's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon.
A long, long way from right to work. His gaze pierces the paper.
At dawn he comes upon two kips breeding in the bushes by the river. Or maybe they weren't breeding. Maybe they were just making eyes at each other. I like to think they were breeding. We shot the boy. He was useless. But the girl, she was nice. A little fat, you know, but not too old.
Okay, now, the story gets super bad after this point. I know because the first time I tried to record this episode, I couldn't read it out loud. And the thought of it, even in silence, just the text being on my channel made me a little uncomfortable. Yeah, I know. This stuff happens. It's a game. Whatever. But I don't need it up there. Okay, you know, this isn't useful. You knew him, right?
What's the matter, militiaman? No stomach for it? This man was worth 1,000 loincloths. We're done talking here.
I think we should maybe even get going now. The only thing we're really missing is at the end of the story, we get to say, and you were there with him, right? And he says,
no. I was in a bar in Jamrock as a bouncer.
So he's clearly just not gonna give up this point until he has no choice. So I'm just gonna leave now. And walk away slowly. The mercenaries now have every bit of information on who we are and what we're doing here. It's to be expected. Should I? No. I have a lot of things to do in this episode. Do I? Yes. You see, we're gonna make Kim a little disappointed in us. Really? What are you planning on doing, detective? Well, I know I promised, but this is important. Why? Well, because I'm doing my best to navigate a lot of new space in this game for me, but to get there, sometimes I have to use some of the tools I'm aware of. And this leads to one of those
Oh,
tools.
hello, dear. There you are again.
Hey, I'd really like to hear more about these cryptids. You know, to hell with it. Let's have more cryptids. Really? But I thought you said we couldn't have any more. Of course, officers. Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about? Are there any invisible cryptids? Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid. Why didn't you speak up the first time? Why'd you say to hell with it? Let's have more of them. Right, okay. We can move on for now. It'd be dishonorable to renege on the promise. But we're gonna do it
hello,
anyway.
dear. There you are again.
Are there any invisible cryptids? But Kim, don't you want to hear about another cryptid too? Fuck it. Let's have more cryptids. Thank you, Kim. Well, the answer is yes, there is an invisible cryptid. Really? What's that? The CUUURSED, or thin whisper of sound. And that's precisely what it seems to be. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. It's very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track. CUUURSED can also be translated as a whisper, light and low. A whisper, light and low. Yes, that's another translation. They're both quite lovely, aren't they? Both. I'm sure that's not dialogue that assumes we passed another check or anything. Although the low part is a little ironic. The CUUURSED makes, or rather is, such a high-pitched sound that other animals, including humans, can't hear it. It could be everywhere, all of the time, and we wouldn't know. Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal also be a sound? Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory. So, exactly as much evidence as there is that the creature exists? Lieutenant, please, don't be a bother. Hey, could it be here? Right now? It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere, and we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives, and nights. Maybe it's predatory. Hey, what if it's predatory? It's not, don't worry. If it were predatory, we would have found it by the damage it inflicts. I wouldn't be so sure. What if the damage is also invisible? So what evidence is there of this animal also being a sound? Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 20s, a group of Aeropagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds. Ma'am, I do know what an ornithologist is, thank you. But detective, why don't you know what year it is then? Look, lady, don't get smart with me. Yes, anyway, these scientists were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the O mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination, they were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds. Songbirds? Yes, songbirds. The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than that of the highest pitch bat calls. They realized that they had discovered a new species, and they called it the CUUURSED, after the Pericarnassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent. Wow. They grew quite obsessed with these little birds, even though they couldn't see them. They could distinguish amongst individual birds and even began to name some of them. Name them. Now we're reduced to a generic protagonist who just repeats the last thing with a question mark and keeps the conversation going. Sequester, Time, Joaquin. These are but some of the Mama de Ka they followed individually. Why is the Mama de Ka so afraid of us? That is a sad story. A group of university students, assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing the professors, nearly drove it to extinction. Here it is again. Extinction? Yes. They tried to communicate with it, and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mama de Ka's. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dearie? Well, if they are phase shifted the right way, they cancel each other out. It's actually very interesting. That's kind of the premise that noise-canceling headphones operate on. Psst, they cancel each other out. Yes, I know. My real-life encyclopedia skill just took... Is my brain starting to talk to me the same way that the detective's brain does? No, that's impossible. There's no way that we would ever do that. Frankly, the thought that it is unnatural. You're probably just fine. Viewers, help me, please. They cancel each other out. Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population. After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Earth, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Koldu Mama de Ka population anywhere. Of course, a common thread in these disappearance and unfalsifiability. I did like the story though, ma'am. I'm glad you did, dear Lieutenant. Interesting. But that's enough for cryptids. We're not going to press the Lieutenant any further. Of course, dear. That's all for now. Now, Detective, what was the purpose of this? You'll find out soon. It also lets me talk about how I became a Koldu Mama de Ka briefly, because I recorded a good half of an episode without realizing my microphone phantom power was switched off, and no one could hear me. And that was the second attempt at... What's that? Was that? Could that be the Koldu Mama de Ka? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear. Is it? Is there a ringing? I just leaned my ear closer to the microphone like you could even see the physical comedy. Jeez. There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right? It's like something tickles your ear. I don't know about that. Honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot. The distant hum of the industrial harbor, the traffic. What traffic? They're jammed. But admittedly, there is a high-pitched noise somewhere there too. But then with your tinnitus, isn't there always? Listen closely. There it is again. You are about to rediscover a long-lost species. Keep listening. It must be very close. Maybe, just maybe it will come toward you. Keep still. It might perch on your shoulder. What are you doing? You're a police officer, not a pansy ornithologist. The only birds you should be looking for are healthy... Pardon me. Are healthy women of childbearing age. Coach, why don't you sit a few plays out? That's a little... Wait, Kim? Do you hear a high-pitched noise? No. I don't hear the Koldu Mama de Ka, and neither do you. Of course he doesn't. He's deaf. Hold very still and hope the bird comes to perch on your shoulder. Oh no! The sound! It's moving away! Somewhere after over there! Go after it. No, no. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Just the rain and the sound of the streets. No, come back, please! Listen more. Keep your ears peeled then. And if the species really has migrated to Martining, you're sure to hear it again. How long we got on that? 27 minutes? Okay. Things to do. 1. Col du Mama de Ka. You heard it! The mysterious Col du Mama de Ka. You're certain that you did. Well, okay, maybe not quite certain, but let's say you're hopeful, because that would make you very special. To be the only human being who can hear this invisible, incorporeal bird? This animate whisper? This particle of sound? You're gonna have to keep listening. Sharpen your ear. So I may be trying to navigate parts of the game that I have not yet navigated. However, I'm using tools from the parts that I have to get there, and this is one of them. Oh, I actually haven't done this yet, at all. Yes, yes. Hey, tap on the fuel preheater gauge. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks, as if startled. It's in the small blue sector, indicating the engine is cold. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat. Now, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they're mesmerizing. They are also fragile. I'm not going to turn it on for you again. Nope, radio. Hey, could you actually connect me to the 41st? Oh, sorry. This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yeah, connect me to the 41st. Just a second, officer. She put you on hold, the static crackling softly like a bonfire. After a while, you hear an old man greet you from the radio. His rattly voice is oddly familiar. 10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in. Over. The man uses relay code. You got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code. 10-4, Station 41. I've got an urgent business. Over. 10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over. Just reporting in, over. 10-18. State your message, sir. Hey, it said I could check the serial number of the boots with either station, and that's not true. This might sound odd, but there's some personal details I'd like to discuss. 10-4, your badge should have most of your personal details. Look over that. Over. Of course, my badge. I can look at my badge that I have. 10-4. Anything else for you, sir? Over. 10-10. Transmission completed. Standing by. Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out. The static ends with a loud click, and then everything is silent in the cabin. Nope. Precinct 57. Oh, it's you. Yes, I know. Could you run a serial number from a pair of armored boots for me? Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it. E50.100.1000. The make and model of the armor is Fairweather T500 VE. Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then. Hey, have you heard something back about the serial number? No, I just told you to call back tomorrow. Anything else? Nope. 57th, over and out. Thank you. toolbox is still empty. Oh, we're not doing that. I don't want to lose any more points. Actually, no, hang on. If I do the line about the machine... No, we're good. I wanted to talk about the actual car mechanics. Hey, officer. You got a minute? Yeah, what's up, Tommy?
I, saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
Sorry, man. I can't disclose the facts of an official investigation to you. It's that bad. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her? I really don't know, Tommy. Damn. I always warned her to watch yourself. Man. Nothing to do now, I guess. Maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can. What's the plan with those rhymes, anyway? Oh, you know. The thought lightens him up. Tommy Leholm's gonna be a musician. Sprechergesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft. Why Tommy Leholm? Tommy Leholm was taken. My real name is Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better. Yeah, I had another question, actually. Yeah, we got a +1 because we didn't make him rat her out. Okay, so we need either empathy or conceptualization. I kind of want to do these while we're here. This is going different. Oh, yeah, and so the other major time I tried to record this episode again, I was seriously about to 2 minutes away from ending the episode. I was actually over time, ha ha ha, when lightning struck and the power went out. And I was left with only audio. While I liked the idea of being super sneaky and only syncing the audio to game footage and trying to do the same in real time and just cutting the current game audio, I think it would have been difficult at best. And without a whole lot of payoff because... Sorry, unless I told you folks what I did, what would be the point? Kind of like in the olden days of my channel, the first time I went around, there's one of my game series that I had an even worse time recording the first episode of. And so the first episode is actually stitched together from about 3 different takes. And I buried the cuts and transitions in shots where the game went to a full black screen. I did a good job with it, and I was proud of that, but who's going to know that if I don't point it out? Because when you do this kind of work the best, nobody knows it's there. Funny how that works, huh? Anyway, empathy and conceptualization. I know I have some of each, or at least I have the concept. I may be already wearing the concept. I am. And I'm holding the empathy. So that's the highest I got? Jeez. Okay, so we're not doing the empathy roll.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
But we are absolutely trying this again. It might be terrible. Wait, there's something here. Stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like a mirror's temperature is always 0. It is ice in the veins. Its camera is an X-ray. Whoa. He leans in, his eyes bright with attention. What else? It is a chalice held out to you in silent communion. Silent communion. That's good. He's transfixed by the words. Where gaspingly you partake of a shifting identity, never your own. Dang. He grunts, unable to suppress his reaction. That's some great shit. You came up with that yourself? Did you? I think that may be an actual poet. No, because we're not a poetry kind of guy, despite our art cop. Like, we like making fun of art, and I guess kind of analyzing it. So maybe it is? I don't know. I don't know. I think that may be an actual poet. And maybe I've just learned it by heart. No matter. It's a fine stanza. You're not so bad after all for a cop. For a cop? They're more often into fists than rhymes, see? Let alone honesty in verse. No joke, man. Fuck the police. Detective, we are the police. Kim, I'm trying to relate to the common man here. I'm doing what little I can to do right by people. Well, you've given me some hope, I guess. He gives you a solid thumbs up. You've found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words. Oh, so that gave us a boost to the expression checks? I have a question mark here? What's that? Oh, okay. Whatever. Didn't we already have that +1? I mean, did we get the +1 from the failure even? So he likes both, but only the good poem helps with the other check? I guess? I don't know. Are we gonna raise empathy? We might. And I don't imagine... Well, you know what? We're doing it. Nope, he's into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
My man, I want to know about your soul.
You really are the law, aren't you? I get that being bluntly observant and inquisitive comes with the territory, but it certainly doesn't help with your conversational skills, does it? Just like that, he slips out of your reach. It is possible the yelling didn't help. Wait, why didn't that lock? I kind of feel like I'm cheating the system here. That's interesting. Why would it let me do that? I really do feel like I'm cheating. Clearly that's stopping me, right? Maybe the game is just taking pity on our role. Just like, hey, you have this little bit. Here, give it a shot. Actually, I wonder if it's that particular dialogue path I'm choosing that is bugged. So, let's try... Hey, man, you look sad. What's going on with you? Same thing. No? And it's different roles, so it's not like it's repeating. That's all the beans you've got, Tommy? Damn. It really is hard to talk man to man. What does this one say? Maybe the full-on direct approach wasn't correct? Damn. It's tricky business looking into someone's eyes and not doing it wrong. I love the yelling. We are so unlucky. Is it locked yet? It's still not locked.
What's on your mind?
Why are you not? Alright. I totally cheated, but the game practically told me to. It's in his eyes. A half-familiar longing. Flecks of brown and gold. How high did we roll? Right on, we got that 9. Familiar. How? It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond the horizon. The road continues for miles, flowing together with other roads, turning into causeways or bridges, ending suddenly in dead ends or ramping up or down highways. It forms a crisscross pattern across the land. Where does it lead? Above the Jamrock Quarter, in the form of a raised motorway, and then the never-ending sprawl of Faubourg, high above buildings new and old, the air filled with the rumble of motor engines. No, further, to the old, old south, to the farthest outskirts of Revachol, through the checkered fields of farmland, upstream to the River Esperance, past Montmartin. Sorry, I'm accenting. Past Mount Martin, the border approaches. Beyond the border, you can't see. It's out of the city. Up ahead, the mist blocks all sight. A gale blows upon your cheeks. It's cold. Before you stands a tall lorry driver with sad eyes. Hey, Tommy, what's down in the southwest? Excuse me? He emerges from the reverie. A flinch jolts his frame. The question has touched a nerve. Hell, I get longing. I've felt something similar since I woke up. Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no help in an absence, you know. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, a second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am, stuck in this shit, so far from home. Diora? Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much, on another island called Laurentide, off the mainland. We got a little place there. I can almost hear my kid laugh when it snows. Tommy, what's it like to miss someone? What's it like? Good and bad. An ache that brings you joy. He smiles warmly. I think of him a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail of living with him. It comforts me. What about you, cop man? You missing someone? Is that what this is? This feeling? No. It's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow. And the past. No. I feel hunted, Tommy. Hunted? By what? Sorry, I went full King of the Hill there. By what, Bobby? By a shadowy figure, known only to me as the X something or other. Oh! Whew! Ex-wife? Ugh, a pain burns in your chest, radiating. A crown of arteries on fire. No. It's the great white ghost that eats the world. A great white ghost. Wow. That sounds really bad. I hope that doesn't happen to my marriage. But first, what is marriage? Man, who even knows? It's like a legal contract, but also a bond between spirits. Everyone is different. That's all I can say. Tommy, don't worry. I'm certain nothing bad is ever going to happen to your marriage. You've really invested yourself in it, and it sounds like she has you. Yeah. In marriage, you never know if you're doing the right thing. I hope we're doing our best to keep ours together, but Anything can happen. Look, man. Thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone. I know it wasn't easy to ask, so... I hope you find your way through your own troubles. Thanks, Tommy. We're good. Not gonna ask you for money. Oh, right. This way doesn't connect. Dang. Alright, we are almost to 2100 in a completely different way than the other recording attempt took. Hey! Where are you guys? Alright, good. Gaston? Nobody throws balls in the air like Gaston.
Martinez makes me safer already. How can I help you?
That's a very low. And I don't think we have anything that boosts rhetoric, but we do have negatives.
I like playing in the dark. Sharpens your nocturnal instincts. Feels like being on a recon again.
Hey, I found you guys a new bull. The old veteran stares at the shot put ball in silence and speaks in a reserved voice. What is this? Are you mocking us? This isn't for pétanque. Now. No need to get angry again, Renee. I'm sure the officer tried his best. Wow, I went halfway to Ed Wynn there. It's not like there's a pool kiosk here in Martinez. We're gonna be the sorry cop, aren't we? I'm very sorry. It's the best I could find. The best, huh? This isn't even a boo, but fine. I guess you did attempt to right your hooliganism. Consider it forgiven. Do I have all my composure gear on? I think so. I have a +1 currently. Composure is a yellow. That's a reaction speed. Yeah. Let's give it a shot.
I like playing in the dark. Sharpens your nocturnal instincts.
But first,
Feels like being on a recon again.
can you tell me anything about this Bell Margrave? It's a Bell Margrave. 4.46 caliber, rich loading, crevasseur made. Good weapon, accurate and reliable. His moves are quick and precise as he first checks the weapon, then aims it at the sea. This man knows firearms intimately. This one's inoperable. The bowstring is missing, and a mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her? Yeah, in the basement there. I don't mind telling you, because they're all shit. None of them work. I'm not surprised. He looks over at the building. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find. I was hoping relating might help that. Hey, I understand Jean-Marie meant a lot to you. There is nothing for you to understand here. It is not her death you are investigating. Were the circumstances... That's a dumb thing to ask, but our detective is doing it anyway. Hey, were the circumstances of her death in any way unusual? Absolutely not. She died of pneumonia in her bed at the age of 79. This is highly usual. 79? Don't you mean 3 20s and 19? Will you stop making fun of the French counting system? Sorry, jeez. Where was this photo taken? Crevasseur Fair of 91 in the Faubourg district. A parade was held to honor Guillaume Le Lion's name day, and the carabiners marched in the place of honor. All right, accent, come back home, thank you. He looked happy in the picture, smiling. This was the happiest day of my life. This is said in such a matter-of-fact tone, it leaves no room for doubt. Hey, what happened with you three? I was 22 when I returned from King Guillaume's IKEA. Yeah, I get lost in IKEA too. Shut up! Operation in the south and found my sweetheart in the arms of this wretch. The IKEA operation was a 7-year campaign during which the suzerain Guillaume's army forcefully united, air quote, the people in the southeastern part of Le Petit Continent, collectively known as the IKEA tribes, under the Ravacholian banner. He gives Gaston a hateful look. I want her back, but while I was dealing with some issues, you were like a dark cloud sucking the joy out of every little thing around you, and you hurt her. Dark cloud. That sounds unpleasantly familiar. Wait, is that really a fractional point now? Sure looks like it. Man. He looks down at his boots, his lips moving, but the words are inaudible. Those days and memories are gone. He nods and looks at Renee with something resembling compassion. The old soldier says nothing, but when his glance quickly runs over Gaston's face, there's an odd look in his eyes. Nope. Still, all you see is an old soldier refusing to replace his uniform with a civilian attire. That's all I still got. I am neurotic enough to do these things. Well, Gaston, does that make you any more likely to give me that sandwich?
Officer, the mere sight of Police Martinez makes me safer already.
Okay,
How can I
so
help you?
that's a legendary 14. Right now we have a chance on 11 or 12 if we got one more point from smoking again. It would only go up to 17. Does that sound right? Or, no, this. I have nothing on rhetoric at the moment. As far as I know. Excuse me. As far as I know, we have that -1 rhetoric, and that is it. Alright. We don't need to be on the balcony. Oh, it is 2100. We gotta go. It is so much easier to keep track of this now that right-click does what it... Oh, wow. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Do I have any more concept? I thought I might. Or am I wearing it? I have +2. Yeah, I'm wearing it all. Yeah. But concept is a blue skill. I'm sure we won't need these anyway. Alright. Yes, yes. 42. That's pretty close. The best we're going to get for a while. In the dim light, some things become clearer. Cindy's artistic impulses are infectious, and probably the art cop dialogue is, you have a keen aesthetic sensibility. Because finally, you see it. This wall is sublime. Look at it. The shadows, the colors. Let the conceptual joy flow into your pupils and blossom into thoughts in your brain. All the other walls All the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God. More. Oh, Wallfather! Hey, I guess I could have saved that one. Kim, I must paint this wall. Add even more beauty to it. Huh? He sounds tired of it all. First, I know you're tired, Kim, but take another look at this. Now, I'm sure I'll find the materials, then we can come back to this magnificent wall. I suppose we'll have to pass by it again at some point anyway. Kim, you even play your resignation close to the chest. Alright. But I am glad to have finally recorded this cursed episode and get it out of the way. See you folks in another one. Later.